see Xia0zl is getting the Overlord scouts all over Idra's base. Idra also getting missile turrets, so he senses that Xia0zl is going to be getting the Spire, and this is a pretty good timing from Idra, also considering that he's getting the Starport. Wow, Starport really early actually. Guessed that one. But yeah, he's getting the Starport super early. He's going to have these early science vessels. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Xia0zl's base. He's getting a Spire, and he's getting... yeah, he's just at layer tech right now, so I'm going to assume he's going to be getting Lurkers, and Science Vessels are a pretty good counter to Lurkers. And I got to assume that Spire is only to be getting Scourge to basically... No! Wow, he did get Mutalisk. I did not see this, guys. Xia0zl actually did get a handful of Mutalisk here. It looks like he's got about 8 Mutalisk, so we'll see what kind of damage he can do here. And it's going to be critical that he does some kind of damage to Idra, hopefully killing about 5 or 6 SCVs, because if he doesn't, those Science Vessels will come out and it's going to destroy Xia0zl, because Xia0zl doesn't have the tech really to counter Science Vessels at this point in the game. And it's very important that the Zerg player does some kind of damage with this Muta Harass, especially since Idra get the Science Vessels so early. He is getting a few SCVs here, picking off about 2. Hasn't lost a Mutalisk yet, so good job for Xia0zl. Meanwhile, Idra really getting those missile turrets up. Doesn't want to lose any more SCVs to Xia0zl. Xia0zl here pushing in once again with the Mutalisk, getting off another SCV, but he loses a Mutalisk in the process, so not a good trade-off there. And he's just continuing with this harass. Meanwhile, also grabbing his 4th expansion here. Let's take a look back into Xia0zl's base. He is getting Hive, guys. So Xia0zl here thinking about getting that Hive tech very early. Also has a Hydra Den, as I expected. So we'll see what kind of tech, if Xia0zl is going to be able to get that tech quickly enough to counter Idra's Science Vessels. Idra also getting the Siege Tank, and now his initial Science Vessel does come out. Meanwhile, Xia0zl just patrolling with these Mutalisks all around Idra's base, also losing this scouting Ling that tried to do the run by. Ling's trying to come in here to pick off the missile turret, gonna be able to do that. And now there's an opening front for the Mutalisks to come in. The Mutalisks are coming in here. The SCVs are forced to retreat, group up and retreat to the refinery. But Idra here pulling out his Medic and Marine to defend his SCV line here. Mutalisk Micro doing pretty good for Xia0zl. No, he loses a couple Mutalisks there. Not good for Xia0zl. But I gotta feel that after these Mutalisks dwindle down, he's not gonna replenish them because he is going to Hive Tech. So I gotta expect Defilers to be coming out very soon. Potentially Ultralisk, because at this point Xia0zl, because the map is God's Garden, he has quite a bit of gas at this point. He is getting the 2nd Evo Chamber, so he's going to be dedicating to ground, and he's going to have 4 gas soon versus Idra's 2 gas. And now I see why God's Garden is such a great map for Zerg players, and Terran players don't dominate Zerg players so easily on this map. So Xia0zl is going to have... I don't think he's going to go for those more Mutalisks. He's going to commit to more Hive Tech. And he is moving in here, getting a few more SCV kills. A bunker, meanwhile, getting canceled, or not canceled, but not going to be able to be finished. Now I just bring in the SCV, trying to complete the bunker. Marines coming out here. Meanwhile, Idra in the center of the map is pushing out with a very significant large force of Medic Marine and 2 tanks trailing as well. I gotta expect the Science Vessels somewhere nearby. 2 Science Vessels, yes. So now Xia0zl is in a bit of trouble. He's getting a 3rd Sunken Colony, and he's got a couple of Scourge as well. And meanwhile, Idra also scans the area, knows what Xia0zl has, but he's continuing to push anyways. The Sunken Colonies are not going to do anything to this to the tanks. Tanks are going to be able to take those out very easily. I'm going to try to slow down the observer for you guys. Meanwhile, Mutalisk also pushing in. We'll see what kind of forces are coming out right here. Just Lings right now, guys. Just Lings. Xia0zl, of course, only having Lings at this point. Doesn't have any of those Hive Tech buildings like Ultralisk out, and I don't think he has time to really get Lurkers out. And a huge Irradiate is taking out all of Xia0zl's forces, everything getting annihilated there. Good job by Idra. Xia0zl kind of just threw his forces in, along with the Irradiate and the Medic and Marine stemmed up, just able to completely wipe out Xia0zl's forces right there. And not looking good for Xia0zl, losing his entire line of Sunken Colonies right there. And he's trying to morph more Lings, but Lings are just not very effective when these Medic and Marine are in the front and the tanks are in the back. Look at how they just get absolutely slaughtered. And now the Hive is going down, and that's got to be it for Xia0zl. The Hive is going to go down. One thing, I think Xia0zl just got very over-aggressive, expanded very fast, and just didn't really get the buildings he needed. Now he has the Ultralisk Cavern, but he's getting that speed right now. The Ultralisks are not fully upgraded at this point, and really he could have went for those Lurkers a lot earlier. He should have had Lurkers to deal with this push, but he just decided to go very, very aggressive with this early expansions, and now I think he realizes that he's lost the game for sure. These Ultralists, quite a bit of Ultralists actually. The Scourge moving in, can they pick off a Science Vessel? And they are going to get one of the Science Vessels, but I don't think that Xia0zl is going to be able to hold this, even though he has Ultralists, because the tanks are in the back. They're going to be able to shell the Ultralists eventually, and eventually going to be able to destroy them. Xia0zl should GG at this point, and let's move on to round 2. By the way, guys, this is best of 5. Defiler comes out, Dark Swarm, but the Dark Swarm just not going to be enough. I don't think too much Terran forces for Idra. Going to be able to keep Xia0zl at bay and going to be able to eliminate Xia0zl eventually. So meanwhile, let's take a look and see what Idra's pumping. Just doing very good on his macro, pumping a lot of Medic and Marine. I love the standard ZVT game, guys. I love SK Terran builds because this is like watching Starship Troopers in action, guys. This is so awesome. Defiler's here. Gonna try to get a Dark Swarm off once again. But the Ultralist is not inside the Dark Swarm, doesn't have much HP. Now it's gonna be able to huddle and hide in there. Meanwhile, Xia0zl's pushing out with some Lings from that 4th expansion. But look at this huge ball grouping of reinforcements just pushing out. Idra not bothering to group him up in a ball as we usually see. Knows he's already won this game. Is gonna push out and just be able to wipe the floor of Xia0zl's Zerg units. Xia0zl here trying to push in and do some more damage with these Ultralists. Ultralists, of course, very, very resilient, but they're not fully upgraded, and he does have to GG out. Idra GG's, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the second game, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you guys got seasick or dizzy, I'll try to slow it down, guys. It's a little bit of an instinct. But yeah, HDstarcraft out to the second game. Look forward to it.